Alright, guys, let's see if we are going to do this right this time. Hold on. Alright, we got a few. Okay. Yep. Oh, good. The two-step verification is working. That is awesome. Another password. Okay. Hold on. Looks like we need another verification. Confirm. What did it say? Was that you? Yes, that was me. Done. Okay. What is all that? Skip. Moderation helps everyone feel safe to build a positive light chat experience for you and your viewers. Choose who can participate. Set a delay between messages. Hide or put people in timeout. Manage messages held for review. Add moderators to your channel. Alright, eventually we will create job titles and we'll figure that out one step at a time. Let's see if we have a test chat. And we do. Look at that. It shows at the REI ledger. All right. We okay. If you are following us live on YouTube or you're just curious about what's going on right now, our team communicates off of YouTube because we do not want to interfere with these statistics. So if you are just starting your own YouTube channel and you're going live, I suggest you do the same. Do not make the newbie mistake of telling all your friends and your family to come on in and chat, and it can be fun for you, and a lot of people need a boost of like, yeah, I have people, seeing me and following me. However, if you are running it like a business, you want to have realistic results. And what we are aiming for with this particular, do we call it a podcast? Do we call it a show? Like, what is it? Because eventually it's going to be both, right? Yeah, eventually we're going to do these shows live, and there'll be, the pauses and the delays and the back and forth. And then after it's gone live, my tech team will go through and edit it, and then it'll be like what you would see on YouTube, just instantly getting into it and probably an intro or whatever. Don't make those intros more than, or I guess, don't make those intros more than a minute. I hate it when I'm trying to do a tutorial and 5 minutes in, somebody is still just talking about themselves. On a live, you talk about yourself. This is person to person. You build rapport. I mean, we're yeah, yeah. True. Most of our in-house live Zooms are probably a good 20 to 30% just cracking jokes and laughing. But once we interact with, I guess once the host interacts with people, um, we'll see how that goes. So, okay, we have made progress. If you've been following us from episode 1, you will understand and see just how much progress we have made. And if you know any entrepreneurs, if you know anyone starting anything new, it could be a new diet, a new fitness plan, a new, career, whatever, a new relationship, have them watch these first couple of episodes and just see how different they are, because I want to really get it out there to the public, the beginning steps. I know everybody wants that shiny object syndrome of, look at me, I've already got a private jet. Okay, like no knock against anyone who has a private jet, especially if you put it out to charter and actually like make the numbers almost sort of make sense, because they'll never actually make sense, but almost kind of make sense. Then that's cool. Like I totally get it. And if you're one of those people where you literally just rent a plane, you don't actually fly anywhere just for a photo shoot, cool. Like great on you for having, the creativity to move forward. But it all starts somewhere. And I see too many people not starting something because their step one doesn't look like somebody else's step 400. And I'm really trying with my other company, Your Money Sign, and with my book, Your Money Sign. Edition 1 is already out. You can find it pretty much anywhere. Search my name, search Your Money Sign book, and you'll probably find it. Which we're working on. Yeah, for the relaunch. We're going to have a second edition. The second edition is going to be much more colorful. Same content. I personally wrote the second edition as well. The first edition was more textbook. That's kind of how my mind works. But the second edition is from the feedback that I've gotten from people over the last couple of years. And I think the second edition will help a lot of people because it is non-stop visuals. It really is. It's everybody who's looked at the first edition versus the second edition, I've been like, which one would you read? They always go second edition. That looks cool. So we'll be building up the email list. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. It's like -22 here, okay? I'm not, I'm mentally awake. I'm mentally awake. I've already taken care of the garden and I've already, tended to the cats and I've already gotten my workout in, but um, it's cold. It's really, really cold, even when you're inside. So, uh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the winds were so strong yesterday, it literally ripped the top shingles off of my exterior cat house. It's my cat house, exterior cat house is made out of wood and screws, and it has a liner and it has a heating pad in it. Just for when my boys are out and it's cold, they can be in there. But they're not going to be in there now. They're not going to be outside right now. Yeah. Okay. So let's pretend like we have an audience interacting with us now, because now we have the live chat up. My point was, if you're starting something new, just keep showing up. So I guess we can move this forward now. So I have to first come over here. It's so weird. It doesn't show my mouse, but it shows when the boxes are on there. I'm using Canva Pro. You do not have to use the Pro. You can use the free version, which maybe we could next time show a free Canva. At a certain point in time, we might change technologies. If we do, we'll let you know. We are not here to gatekeep. The whole point of this channel is to not gatekeep. I want you successful. Even if you are trying to compete as a bookkeeping company for real estate agents, there is enough abundance for all of us. I am not ever intimidated when somebody says, "Oh, you're an author? Wow, I want to be an author too. Oh, you talk about finances? Wow, I want to write a book about finances too." My reaction isn't going to be, "Oh, don't tell you stuff." My reaction is going to be, "Fantastic. Here's exactly what you need to do. Here's the software that you use." I used Canva Pro for the second edition. It was amazing. It was awesome. We had our animators or are they animators when they draw? Artists. Okay, we'll call them artists. We have our artists. We are moving forward with it. It was just awesome. And that was in Canva. And then a little side tip, in Canva Pro as of 2025, when we finish the book, you can only have a maximum of 5,000 pages. Now, if you want to do over 5,000, which originally how we had it set up, because we're going to have some extra worksheets and such, it was going to be like I'm sorry, 500, not 5,000. Thank you. It's over 5,000. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. 500, 500, three little places. It was originally going to be 530 pages. Could you imagine that? Yeah. Can you imagine? Here's a book. Boom. It's a quick weekend read. It would be a quick weekend read for me. Yeah. If it was a free weekend. If it was a free weekend. I don't. Yeah, I'm not seeing the book um in front of me. Your money sign book. Um no, honestly, I got to get rid of the copies so quick. Like so many people um they'll ask me a question and I'll say it and then I'll be like, here's a copy. So I don't have any copies in this office right now. I probably have them in the other office and of course in my library. I've got copies. But anyway, let's start the show. Let's start pretending this is our actual yes, and this screen here, the coming soon screen, is for making it quicker on tech when we are going to start editing these episodes. This is a very clear sign to them that this is the early stuff. This is the starting stuff, and they can just kind of immediately cut that out. They see this screen on their little editor, and they can just immediately like move the bar and be like, nope, that's not what we want. So we're going to try to make some very clear visual communications. Oh, that's what I was saying. Steal my stuff. Yes. Copy me. And then put your twist on it. Like, seriously, you cannot be me, be you. But you can use my tech stack. With the book, we used Canva Pro. Then we have purchased our own ISBNs. If you did not have the money for that, because you're going to have at least three, one for the hard copy, one for the paper copy, and one for the ebook copy. If you can't afford those groups of actually purchasing your own ISBN, then you can do something like Ingram Sparks or Amazon, or I guess it's KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. There are options out there. So you just have to find what option you want to do. My first copy, I thought I was hiring a publishing company. Turns out it was an entrepreneur, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they were just inexperienced, not con artists. What I got for the money that they paid was not what we originally agreed to. So I kind of had a mental block. I kind of didn't really like the first book. I didn't really like how that whole experience went. But we've had so much feedback and so much commentation on it and asking to make it visually communicate how easy this book is to read. Because when you first see it, it's 500 pages, 530. And a lot of people get like intimidated by it, but they start reading it and they go, oh, wow. I wrote it while trucking. And I finished it while I was hauling crude. So what that means is that 3 times a day, I had about 40 to 45 minutes of just standing by my loud ass truck and watching the hose, making sure nothing leaked. So while I was doing that, I had my phone open and I would type in my thoughts into a Word document, a Microsoft Word document. I used that back then. And when people tell me they want to be a writer or they want to start something, and I say, okay, so show me what you've got so far. And like, oh, I can't, I don't have time. Well, it's not about having time, it's about prioritizing time. Because you have 24 hours. I have 24 hours. However, what's your priority? If your priority is you're a stay-at-home parent and you're trying to keep your toddler alive, because let's face it, that seems to be their one purpose at that age, is to try to find anything that can kill them. I would agree. You should prioritize taking care of your child and then taking care of yourself to recover from the stress over writing a book. I agree. I absolutely would say that is a smart prioritization. I find, however, people's priorities are typically not that extreme. I have definitely found a lot of people who come to me, at least, they're younger. They see me eating in a restaurant and they ask for my autograph because they see I'm an author. And she was really nice. She was really nice. And she thought it was totally cool. And I had started putting up a little scannable sign on my table. This is going back, oh, probably 8 to 10 years ago. I started doing that. And if you're an entrepreneur, it works amazing. Take yourself out to eat, do your work, and have a little sign. And I don't know if this is old school for people, but have a little sheet of paper inside a little plastic thingy, that just kind of stands up, and you put your paper on there, and it just says, for mine, it was something like, yes, I am C. Taiga, author of Your Money Sign. I am currently eating. When I'm done eating, I would love to chat about being an author. And then I would have a QR code. And what that did is that everybody in the restaurant, well, Panera, that's where I went every morning, or IHOP, or Denny's, or Perkins. Yeah, okay, never mind, restaurant. We'll just go with restaurant. I had that up, and what that does for them is they're like, wow, who's this person? Like, why is this code there? Oh, they say they're an author. What's this book? And I found that people would actually come to me afterwards and be like, oh, I looked up your book. That's really cool. What's it about? Oh, I could never read a book that big. Well, it's 8 chapters, and each chapter is cut into 16 subjects. I forget what I was calling them at the time. Sections? Yeah, okay. So 16 sections. And each section was deliberately, intentionally designed to, one, be read at a 6th grade reading level. This is not a book that is going to be full of jargon, and this is not my book. These are the kind of books that I read. Thank you, Bigger Pockets. The Book of Tax Strategies for savvy real estate investors, and really kind of jargony heavy. If you were to take that book and just read it out loud to a 6th grader, chances are they will have no clue what you're talking about pretty quick. So that's the first one. It's a 6th grade reading level. The second one is that it is can be read in under 5 minutes. The average time is under 5 minutes. And I have actually had 6th graders and their younger siblings read the book out loud to me. It is so amazing to see a young kid get handed this big old book and they get terrified of it, and then they start and they know the words and they can say it decently accurately, and yeah, they love it. Now, apparently the most popular demographic so far has been young males 16 to 25, but that might just be because, I was a trucker and gave it out to all my trucker friends. So, they probably like, oh, this is really good, and give it to their kids. But we'll see. We'll see what the second book does, what the second edition does. And that's all I did. That's all I did. I got my whole tech stack was Canva. I'm sorry, my whole tech stack for the original book was Microsoft Word on my phone. I did have to pay for that, but I was already paying for that because at the time there wasn't free options. And at least not that I knew of. And then I thought I hired a publishing company. I thought I was doing everything right, and it turns out it was just a freelancer, and they put it on Ingram Sparks. I thought I had the rights to my book. I did not know I did not. Yeah, a couple $1,000s down the drain, and you still don't have the rights. That yeah, that burns you. And I want to help people. I want to help the entrepreneurs starting out there to really understand. Yeah, sometimes people suck. Yeah, sometimes life sucks. And as an entrepreneur, you have to go keep walking. Okay, here we go. Like I tell people, it can't be a wall. Once you've turned your wall into a wall of bead strands, okay, you still see it. And you gotta walk through it. It might be annoying sounds, it might be annoying to get on your face, but you can walk right through it. You gotta walk right through it. Speaking of which, I know we're already 20 minutes in, and it's only coming soon. You're right. So here we go. Let's do this. Let's slide on down to the second one. See, we got to change this too to where it's smoother. Presentation. Okay. I don't see that over here. Under templates? Okay, we'll try that later. We are live, so let's pretend like we're professionals. We are bookkeepers, people. We are bookkeepers, we are investors, we are parents. We are not influencers. Okay, so I've been told I'm supposed to start out saying who I am. My name is C. Taiga. I am CEO of the REI Ledger. That is a QuickBooks Online bookkeeping service for real estate professionals. If you do QuickBooks Online through, real estate, do your real estate through QuickBooks Online, we're the place for you. We actually care, and we're going to educate you along the way. We're not one of those people who just takes it over, and then if we part ways at the end of it, you still don't know what's going on. We believe that all of the parties involved knowing everything that's going on is the most important step. I want you to understand, why is it a repair and not a gain? I want you to understand what we as bookkeepers mean when we say the word equity versus what you as a real estate investor mean when you say the word equity. Because we're both talking equity, but the bookkeeper is going to talk about shareholder equity and the real estate investor is going to talk about property equity. So that's for us. If you are doing real estate investing through QuickBooks Online, check us out. Absolutely. And free shout out, check out Income Digs. He himself is also a real estate investor, and he tries very often to update QuickBooks because QuickBooks changes constantly. Another reason why a lot of people will just hire a bookkeeper. They don't want to learn the new versions and have to recertify every single year, which I am now a 2026 Pro Advisor Level 2. Yep. Yeah, you do need to get your credentials up. But yep, he got his credentials. Yep. So we're in the process of catching up to 2026 while keeping everybody current. So that is that section. I am also CEO of Your Money Sign and author of the book Your Money Sign. If you do QuickBooks Online for anything other than real estate, we're going to start referring you over to Your Money Sign. We've decided to kind of split the two because you do have to use it differently. You can use COGS, cost of goods sold, very differently if you are a small business owner cleaning houses versus if you're a real estate investor with your portfolio. So we've decided we're going to split the two of them so there's no confusion in our trainings. So that will eventually go over there to Your Money Sign. This is episode 5 of this. This is just episode 5 of our lives. We're kind of keeping track of our lives so that, 10, 20 years from now, we'll do the whole look at where we started from. In my pajamas. Yes, in my flannel pajamas. It's cold. If you were this cold with a back injury, you'd be in flannel pajamas too. Okay. I think we covered everything, right? Oh, the soundbite. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the REI Ledger, episode 005. Thank you so much for joining us. I am C. Taiga, CEO of the REI Ledger. We are so happy to have you here. Are you a real estate agent? Do you want to use QuickBooks Online? Check us out at www.thereiledger.com. That is the REILEDGER.com, or follow us on our socials at the REI Ledger. Let's get into it. I almost sounded like a pro, huh? It's kind of like I've talked to people before, right? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Oh, wrong screen, people. There we go. All right. This is the biggest thing I hear from people at all. Do I have to? I did it yesterday. I've put up 5 episodes. I think the only one currently following this channel is us, like the official us. Yes. Like I said, I have banned any team, any friends, any inner circle from liking or following or commenting or chatting on YouTube. I've got obviously other things up. Um, Dual monitors. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, dual monitors, or 3 or 4. Remember when I had the 6? That's a little much. Dual monitors for this has been fine. But, do I have to? I have met so many entrepreneurs where they would put in the effort to have the idea. They would put in the effort to learn the skills. This is not something that is easy if you've never done it before. I don't care what this is, it's not easy. When you're doing something new, you have to come up with the idea to do something new. You have to learn the tech stack. You have to learn the skills. You must stay consistent for a very, very long time. This particular idea has been going since October of 2025, October 31st, actually, a Halloween night, baby. And here it is, February 19th, 2026. So it's not, oh, we've just tried this 5 times. No, we've been building this and trying to find little ways of how do we incorporate it and what do we do and what's the end goal? Is it for eventual monetization? Is it for just trying to get eventual clients? Is it for trying to train new employees? Like, where are we going to go with this? Who is our audience? And for this channel, it is our customers. We want it to be for the real estate investors. I want somebody to be coming in here and watching a video and going, oh, that's how you send my invoice. Okay, awesome. Because trust me, somebody knowing how to do bookkeeping can only help them connect with their bookkeeper better and appreciate their bookkeeper better. They're like, oh my God, that is such a headache. I had 30 freaking invoices this week. I don't want to spend the amount of time categorizing them and going through them and knowing which ones are pending, which ones have been approved. They're like, I already have so much other stuff to do. Thank you for taking that off my plate. I 100% believe that by educating our clients, real estate investors, like I said, if you want QuickBooks Online or anything non-real estate related, we'll start putting up content over on Your Money Sign. We are going to be revamping it. We're in the middle of kind of getting the second book ready for launch. So we'll start doing a push on that. Yes, yes. I've kind of been wanting to wait on that for after my back surgery. Um, we're doing this. I'm taking this on so that everyone can keep doing their own thing. And I will continue doing this through surgery and recovery. But yeah, I don't think it would be smart for me to be taking on all 3 companies and doing all of my roles during the recovery time. So that's kind of what this is playtime. Let's play. Let's try to get it out there. Let's see if we can get traction. And that's why there's no chats and no shares and none of that. We're trying to see what we can build organically. Because if we can learn that lesson now, it's going to help us. Every campaign we launch, we're now going to know what actually it takes to be organic instead of just keeping it within the inner circle. So the whole, do I have to? Do I have to show up at the same time every day? Do I have to give a full description? Do I have to have a thumbnail? It's just extra work. I don't see the reward. Welcome to being an entrepreneur. If you are somebody who needs a reward immediately, I work today, I know I'm getting a paycheck in 15 days, that kind of training that we have gotten. I do the test, I get the results right immediately now, I guess. Everybody does immediately. No one has to wait till the next day for the teacher to grade it anymore. Or, the weekend. Oh my gosh, I've helped grade so many tests. It used to be paper. Yeah, most of them aren't even paper anymore. You're right. Getting distracted. Okay, I don't know how this is going to work when we have YouTube live and there'll be new people. I think the format we have agreed to is I'm just going to attempt to like turn that monitor away so I don't even see it, give my presentation, and at the end of it, then turn it in and answer questions. That way, for our YouTube, it doesn't have the back and forth and back and forth. It just has a presentation that they can, pretty up and post, and then afterwards we can answer questions and they can chop those up, and those will probably be what we eventually put on as shorts, for like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff, the ADD places, as I like to call them. So do I have to? The answer is no, you don't have to. I mean, if you want to succeed, it would be a smart thing to do the boring stuff, to do the things that you don't want to do. Layla, how do you say it? Hormozy? If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry, Layla. You're awesome. I love what she says. She just says, fuck your mood, stick with a plan. I don't know if I can say that on a live. I hope that we don't get the channel uh, banned or something. So, but that's what it is. That's what she says. So let's get going. We're going to move down to the next one where I'm trying to talk about how consistency beats being sporadic. These first several episodes, I want people to see the evolution of it. I think when you're starting out a new project and I've seen creators do this all the time, like hide your starting progress. I think it's stupid. I think it's absolutely stupid because I'm not trying to create a false expectation out there. Too many people, especially younger people, fail in their goal because they have this expectation of what it's supposed to be. And that's just impossible. I mean, completely impossible to go in a direction that doesn't actually exist. Imagine you're a delivery driver, and every single delivery, you only get paid when you deliver correctly and get a tip. And every single delivery they send you on is a vacant lot. The address doesn't exist. The destination doesn't exist. So even if you get the order right, you get to the destination, you get the address correct, you get to the destination correct, it does not matter how you show up if it's an empty freaking lot. You will not deliver because there is nothing to deliver to. Excuse me. What does that translate to in real life? Yeah. Oh, okay. My nails aren't done. I shouldn't do a live. Oh, my hair's not perfectly plastered to my head. I shouldn't take that picture. Those sorts of things. Yes, we've seen a lot of people. Oh, I shouldn't even try to get my first bookkeeping client because I don't have X, Y, and Z certifications. You're trying to deliver an end product, you as perfect, that's your end product, I'm perfect, but what you're trying to deliver, no matter how much you show up, you're going to an empty lot. If you've ever been a delivery driver, some of the best tips you get usually are not from the big fancy houses or the big corporate events. In fact, sometimes those are your smallest tips because they're very money conscious and they don't see you as value. A lot of times, the best tips of your life are going to be those loud, messy houses, and they're just all together for a great time, and they work really hard, and they understand what it's like to work really hard, and here you go, here's a great tip, and you're like, shoot, that's awesome. I hope you're kind of beginning to understand what I mean. Start messy, but stay consistently improving. Every episode we figure out one little tweak, one little thing. I'm always telling everybody what's the one improvement we can do from this, whatever this is. Every project, every, memo about a meeting, in my opinion, should only be to make the decision yes or no. And if we are not at that point of actually deciding yes or no, we don't need a meeting. You can write me an email, you know, you can do something while we're back and forth talking, maybe once the numbers, here we go. And when it's yes or no and you do a meeting, it's very simple because everybody has already come in knowing I'm asking yes or no. They know they have to give an answer, so they already have their answer. They're not taking my time to process and decide an answer. They are taking my time to inform me of their answer. And a number of meetings can be eliminated because then they already know the answer. It's now just a quick email of my answer is yes, my answer is no. And then if majority is yes or majority is no, we know the direction to go. If it's like a tie, which I always try to make sure it's always odd. So there's saves more of my time. Anyway, but that's what I mean. Let's get back to the point. Yeah, see, this will be hard. You guys will have to like make me a bit of a script because otherwise I'm just gonna bounce all over the place. Get back to consistency beats sporadic. Stay consistent. Now, I want to make a very special mention to my female entrepreneurs and especially to my male entrepreneurs that have a female co-founder or really close teammate for the business. What is consistency for a man is not consistency for a woman. And this is not sexist. In fact, I believe understanding the differences in their needs removes a lot of sexism. Women can respect men better, men can respect women better. So here's what I'm talking about. Men have a 24-hour hormone cycle. Every man I've ever talked to, I say, hey, what time of day does your testosterone dip? And they're almost always going to tell me sometime in the afternoon. Then you go and you talk to a woman and you say, hey, what time does your energy dip? And they're going to say, the week of da 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 da. I have a cycle of 28 days. This is how it goes. Or if you're one of the, I call unlucky us, I have a cycle of like 21 to 22 days. I do not get first week, second week, third week, fourth week. I get like part of a week and then part of a week and then part of a week. And then I'm right back to it. So consistency is going to be about being imperfect and being messy. For a man, when he says consistency, he's saying come at this level of energy, come at this level of intensity, do 100 cold calls every single day, boom, 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 boom. The most modern societies have made the workday a 24-hour cycle, which is a man's cycle. Nothing against gentlemen. I mean, we wouldn't have most of society that we have without the amazing men who built it. I will never diss a man. And if you ever try to come at me and say how terrible men are, I'm going to say you need to grow up, whether you're a man or a woman, because that's ridiculous. And the same goes for women. I will never let anyone tell me how women are useless because they're not a 24-hour cycle. Don't even try to start with me because I will educate you for 24 hours whether you like it or not. Women entrepreneurs, our consistency would be something more like time blocking. I have known a number of successful female entrepreneurs who their time blocking is done for a day at a time. Etsy, selling digital products. You will learn when are the days that you have really good energy and you will protect them. Treat them as actual like sacred ground. To the point of during her 3 to 4 days, she calls them her powwows. Her kids go over to grandma and grandpa as a grandma and grandpa sleepover. It's like the kids love it because they get to go play with grandma and grandpa. Grandma and grandpa loves it because they get to see the kids on a regular basis. And mom loves it because she's able to take those days of her great energy, and during the day, she's able to focus. She will do all of her digital products. She will do all of her postings and like schedule it out. She will create all of her promotions and marketings and such, sometimes for the whole month. I mean, she's got it down and she makes some good money with it. And of course, you can't forget dad. Dad loves it because he now knows, guaranteed, when they're going to have time to just hang out and be at the best energy possible. And it works out for everyone. And then I have seen the exact opposite, unfortunately. And I have been that woman myself at times, especially being a truck driver. Can you imagine being a truck driver and telling your boss, well, I'm not going to work for the next 3 days because it feels like somebody is jabbing and trying to take out my intestines with a screwdriver while I'm on the highway hauling 100,000 pounds of high explosives? No, they don't care. There's not enough quality, healthy, respecting boundaries for the female cycle in industries like that. And when I would go according to that cycle, it was miserable. I mean, it was absolutely miserable. I don't have to tell any woman what it's like because we know we grew up in a society that did not respect women. And being an entrepreneur, being a bookkeeper, being a real estate investor, you have the opportunity to really change the game for all women by respecting your cycle. So when I talk about consistency, gentlemen, I'm talking to all you for a second. Show up at the same level, push yourself, do all those amazing things that you're going to do. But when you talk about consistency to a woman, respectfully, your first question should be, where are you at your cycle so I know how to respect your energy? That should be your first question to any woman. Where are you in your cycle so I know how to respect your energy? And then educate yourself. Educate yourself. Every single entrepreneur should educate yourself because whether it is an employee, a spouse, a customer, or even just a stranger that you work with, maybe it's your real estate agent or your banker or somebody, you're going to start finding that when you approach people when they have good, healthy energy, your business does better. But if you're one of those blinder people, men or women, who think that women are supposed to be men or men are supposed to be women, and you do not understand why nothing ever freaking works, well, you're not working. You're not respecting a 24-hour hormone cycle versus a 28-day hormone cycle. So if you have females on your team, you need to start understanding time blocking is going to be your best for consistency. It is consistency on the end of the customer. These are lives, so you can see how sporadic it is. But when you have a blog, like we have, we're going to have three sources. Yes, three sources. The website, www.reiledger.com. The LinkedIn, I'd be doing a blog post every day on there because a lot of professionals go there. We want to help and add value. And of course, Bigger Pockets. You'll hear me say Bigger Pockets all day long, and I am not paid to sponsor them or QuickBooks, but that's the best. If you're wanting to get into real estate, QuickBooks Online and the Bigger Pockets are the best ways to do that. So that could mean when you're in your energy of high energy levels, you write and post out all of your blog posts for the month and just schedule them out so that your customer feels consistency. And if you're doing that when you have the energy for the month, that's consistency. So find what consistency is for you and your households and how it works for you. Let's see. Yeah, because when I scroll with the mouse, it doesn't go up. Okay. Well, thank you for being here with us live today. I appreciate everybody who has joined. And in the future, when you're seeing a playback, please still leave a comment. Please join us for our lives. We try to do lives every day, Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 a.m. Hopefully this is when you're driving to a property or driving the kids to school or driving home from the kids to school. And you can just take 20, 30 minutes to join us and just kind of listen in. And we're trying to give you quality topics to think about and focus about because there'll be plenty of distractions the rest of the day. You guys have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us at the REI Ledger, and we will see you next time.